Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video I'll be showing you how to make level 7 of the YouTuber apartment house. This thing is getting absolutely insanely massive. Just look at this thing. I bet you can barely even see the top of it if you stand in front of it on the ground. That's how massive this thing is. Before we get this thing started, I'd like to say a very big thank you to those of you that gave a like on that previous video. All I asked for was 1,000 likes to get level 7 made, and you guys gave me well over 2,000. You have no idea how much I appreciated that. It put a massive smile on my face when I woke up in the morning and saw all of those likes. I really do appreciate that, guys. But I think that level 7 is where the YouTuber apartment house should probably end, guys. I mean, before too long, if we keep building any higher, like level 10 is going to be on the moon. That's how high this thing is getting. It's absolutely insane. Or should it end with level 7? I don't know. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments. I really am torn on this. If you want to make any of the previous levels of the YouTuber apartment house and you haven't made any of them yet, I would highly suggest starting with level 1 down here and then working your way from there, and then you can kind of just start with any of the other levels. Like if you have 1 as a foundation, then you can make like level 4, then level 6, then level 2, or any order that you want with any order of YouTubers that you want. That's all I'd suggest. You can find all of the previous levels of the YouTuber apartment house in the card system and the description below. And that is pretty much all I have to say. Guys, should there be another level? Should we stop here? Have we created a monster? You have to let me know. I've got absolutely no idea whether this thing should start or end. I don't know. Let's move on to actually building this house before we contemplate this anymore. So here we are at level 6 of the YouTuber apartment house. We're going to start on the very left, as is customary, and the very first YouTuber that we'll be making is going to be Viktor Star. To make him, you'll need some light grey stained clay, some brown stained clay, some black stained clay, some white wool, and some black wool. We're going to be making him directly above ThxCya, and we are going to begin Viktor Star on the very top front left-hand corner of ThxCya's head, which is this block right here. You guys will be able to see it quite easily. It's this one. Well, on top of this, you want to stack 4 light grey stained clay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete the first 3 blocks. Those are only guidance blocks. Go right of that clay by 1 of the light grey clay. Then do 4 black stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go right by 2 of the light grey clay, and that is the first row of Viktor Star's head. On top of this, going from left to right, starting from the very left of this, we want to do 2 light grey clay, 1 black stained clay, 2 light grey clay, 1 black stained clay, 2 light grey. For the next row, going from left to right, do 3 light grey clay, then 2 black stained clay, 3 light grey clay. For the next row, and as a matter of fact this is for 2 rows, you want to do 1 light grey, 1 white, 1 brown, then do 2 light grey clay, 1 brown, 1 white, 1 light grey, and you want to have that for 2 rows like I said. So once you've done it once, do it again. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 1 black wool, followed by 6 light grey clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 1 black wool. Then, for the next 2 rows, do 2 solid rows of black. So that's 1, and then this will be 2, won't it? Perfect. And that is Viktor Star's face, but we're not done there. We have the rest of his head to do. So we want to take the bottom back 2 corners of his head and extend them backwards by 7 with the light grey clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to connect those together, and we want to connect them together by bringing each 7th block in by 2, 1, 2, and that'll be 1, 2, and then you want to connect them together with 2 black wool right in the very center. Come to the left hand side of Viktor Star's head. Starting from the very front of the head, on the second row, you want to come back by 4 with the light grey clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 2 rows of 2 light grey for the 3rd row and the 4th row closest to the head, or the face. Then do the same thing on the opposite side. So we'll do a row of 4 to start off with, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 coming from the front, then 2 rows of 2. Then you want to take the back 2 corners of the head, raise them up with the black wool, connect them to the front of the head, and we want to form a nice big cube shape that has to be filled in. So it'll look like this. We then want to fill in the sides of said cube with black wool. So we'll fill the left hand side, the right hand side, and the back in with black. You guys may or may not know what we're actually going to be doing with the very top or the bottom of this, but I'll explain anyway. So once we've filled in these particular sides with black, leaving the top and bottom exposed, we are going to form a pattern on the top and the bottom that will allow us to put a row of 4x4 glass in the top and the bottom of the head. This will allow light to shine through, and it will also allow us to look down and up at the next and previous YouTubers. So for the top of the head, we're just going to do a square of black wool sitting directly inside of the top of the head, like this. So just do a row that sits inside the top of the head, goes all the way around, and you'll see that this actually sits in line with the previous square that we have above ThxCya. And at the bottom of Viktor Star's head, we also want the same thing, this time with light grey clay. It's actually not important, really, what materials you use for these rings, because you won't even see them that much. So if you want to spice it up a bit, use some different colours, then do that. But that is Viktor Star's head. Later on, we will fill those two gaps in with glass, and we'll do that all in one go, because that will look quite nice. Once we've got Viktor Star done, we now have our old pal, bajancanadian. You guys have been requesting him like crazy, so I'm going to get rid of all of these blocks, and I'm going to grab for Bajan white stained clay, brown stained clay, white wool, cyan wool, and some blue wool. Starting from on top of the front left-hand corner of Thinknoodles' head, which is this block right here, we want to go up by like 3 with the brown stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, then 1 with the white stained clay. Destroy the brown. Go right of that white stained clay by 7, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then stack a row of white stained clay directly on top of that. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 1 brown clay, 1 white wool, 1 dark blue, then 2 white stained clay, 1 blue, then do 1 white, 1 white, then 1 brown stained clay. Then for the next row, it's very similar, except we want to have cyan where there is blue. So it'll be 1 brown, 1 white, 1 cyan, 2 white, 1 cyan, 1 white, 1 brown, like that. Then for the next row, slightly trickier, we want to do 2 brown stained clay, 1 white, 1 brown, 1 white, 3 brown. Then you want to do 3 solid rows of brown, that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we just want to add on our layers of brown, like this. But this won't be all we have to do for Bajan's hair. So that's the front of his head, but we have to add a bit of a fringe onto Bajan. So this fringe, the extra hair, is going to start just left of this left-hand eye, and it's going to start from the upper part of the white. So right here, place a brown stained clay. Go up on top of that by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Do an upright diagonal and go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals. Go down by 2, 1, 2. Do an up left diagonal and go left by 1. Do an up left diagonal, a bottom left diagonal, an up left diagonal, a bottom left diagonal. Then fill the center of this thing in with brown stained clay to give you something which should look a little bit like that. Once you've got that taken care of, the next bit is actually kind of easy. We want to take the bottom 2 corners of Bajan's head, and we want to extend the corners backwards each by 2. 1, 2, with the white stained clay I should say, and 1 and 2. Go up on top of those first blocks by 1 with the white stained clay. We then want to come out of the back of those white stained clay blocks, the second ones, and we want to do rows of 5 brown stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we want the same thing, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect them together and then raise them up, connect them to the front of the head, connect them to each other, and fill in the left, right, and back sides of Bajan's head with brown stained clay. You guys know what to do here, very easy. So we just want to fill these in with the brown stained clay. Then we want to, of course, leave like the skylight and whatever you would call that down below, like a skylight in the sky, like in your actual house, right, or whatever building. Like that's just a window above you placed randomly or strategically that lets light in. What do you call it when that light is below you? What do you call it when you've just kind of like, I don't know, like maybe you want a light that just a ground light, where it's just like a random patch of glass like on the ground floor so you can see down into the dirt or the underworkings of your house. I've got no idea, maybe it's called a cellar. So that is each one of the sides. Now all we're going to do is add the square of, I'm going to do white stained clay down below, but remember, do whatever you want. Maybe red wool. Red wool would look good because his clothes are red. And right at the top here, I'm going to do brown stained clay. But once again, I mean, it doesn't really matter where it is. I mean, the face is the most important thing, so you can actually recognize them. And then, like, up above and down below, just throw in some different colors. Like, that's what I did with Mr. Unspeakablegaming, and I think that that looks great. But there we go. That is bajancanadian. Once you've got him taken care of, I'm just going to discard all of my colours and grab what I need for iballisticsquid. So that'll be some cyan wool, some blue wool, some red wool, some white wool. That's all we'll need. We're going to come all the way up to the top front left-hand corner of Mr. Unspeakablegaming, and on top of this corner block, we're going to go up by lane 3 with the cyan wool. That's 1, 2, 3. Then place a dark blue wool on top of that third block. Go right of that dark blue by 3 with the dark blue. That's 1, 2, 3. Then, do a cyan wool. Go right by 3 with the dark blue, that's 1, 2, 3. That is the first row of Squid's head. So, going from left to right on the next row, we want to do a dark blue wool, cyan wool, then a white wool, red, white, red, 2 dark blue. For the next row, do 1 cyan wool, then do 6 red, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, do a blue wool. For the next row, do a cyan wool, a white wool. Do 4 red, 1, 2, 3, 4, white wool, then a cyan wool. For the next row, do 1 cyan, 6 red, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then do a cyan wool. For the next row, do 1 cyan, 1 white wool, 4 red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 white wool, then 1 cyan. For the next row, do 2 dark blue, 1 white wool, 1 red, 1 white, 1 red, 2 dark blue. For the next row, do 3 dark blue, 2 cyan, 3 dark blue, to give you something which should look a little bit like that. And that is the front of Squid's head. Perfect. What we can now do is this. So we can take each one of the... We can take each one of the 4 back corners of Squid's head, and we can actually extend those corners backwards, each by 7 with the dark blue. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we can actually connect each one of those blocks together. So connect each one of those together like this. We are going to be adding some more detail, guys, by the way. And once you've connected them together in a cube, we have to add a bit of detail, I told you. So on the left-hand side of the head, and we'll also do this to the right, we want to take the very top left-hand corner block on the left-hand side of the head, and going right of this, we want to do a cyan wool. Going right, do 2 dark blue. Go down from that dark blue by 2 with the white wool, that's 1, 2. Go right of that second white wool by 1 with the white, and on top of that we actually need another material that I didn't account for. We need black wool, and we want to go on top of that white wool by 1 with the black, like so. Also, on the side of the head you want to do a dark blue wool in the top right hand corner of the row. So it's very easy, like all of the details here. You then want to just completely fill in the side of the head with cyan wool. So just fill in the side of the head with cyan wool. It's really, really simple stuff. And once you've done that to one side, it's actually easier to see it from the opposite side. Once you've done that to one side, you want to do the same thing to the opposite side. And the easiest way to do that is just to simply look forward, copy what you've done over there, and then copy it directly onto here. That's definitely the easiest thing. I mean, I guess I could give you guys instructions again, but there's no point because you may as well just look directly over at what you've just done, copy it block for block. You guys will be able to replicate that, and then you can have a look at the second side of Squid's head. Looking nice, Mr. Squid. On the very back of the Squid's head is where we have a little bit of detail here, so we'll start from the top this time. And starting from the top, going from left to right, we want to do this. We want to do 2 dark blue, 2 cyan, 2 dark blue. That's the second to last row, or the first to last row. And then for the next row, going from left to right, we want to do 1 dark blue, then we want to do 4 cyan, 1 dark blue, like that. The rest of the head can actually be filled in with cyan wool. And once that's been done, you guys will know what we can do next. Of course, we can do cyan wool or whatever you want. You basically just want to fill the top and bottom of the head in with a material, don't you? You want to go all the way around it. You want to form a square shape, and then that'll later on let us just fill in the top and bottom of the head with whatever color glass we want. For Squid, I'll probably be using... I'll probably be using a blue, who am I kidding? So, that is Mr. iballisticsquid looking nice, looking ferocious, I might say. Once we have got squid done, the second class YouTuber, we're going to need some white stained clay, some orange stained clay, some black stained clay, some brown stained clay, some black wool, some white wool. And we have a guy that I hope this is how he actually pronounces his name, because I haven't actually heard him say it out loud. I've only read it. It's like ryguyrocky or something close to that. I hope you guys know who I'm talking about. Well, I'm sure you guys recognize him. I'm sure you do because you suggested him anyway. So, above Samgladiator's head, starting from the top front left-hand corner block, which is this one because his head, this is like his head, this is his head. And on top of this corner block, I'm going to stack a row of 3 orange stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to place a white stained clay. Destroy the orange. Go right of that white stained clay by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then for the next row, going from left to right, we want to do 3 white clay. Then do 2 black wool, 3 white clay. For the next row, do an entire row of white stained clay. For the next row, do 1 white clay, 1 white wool, 1 brown stained clay, 2 white clay, 1 brown clay, 1 white wool, 1 white stained clay. For the next row, do 1 white stained clay, then do 2 black stained clay, then make the rest of the row white stained clay. For the next row, do 1 orange stained clay, 2 white stained clay, 1 orange stained clay, 1 white stained clay, 2 black stained clay, 1 white stained clay. Then do 2 solid rows of orange stained clay. So this will be 1 row, and then this will be 2. And this will give you just about, let's destroy that block, just about, I'm going to call him Rocky. This will give you Rocky's base. We have to add a little bit of hair. So his hair starts just above his right eyebrow, on the right hand side, and we want to do from this eyebrow going to the left, we want to do a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 orange clay. Then above that, starting from the right, we want to do a row of 3 orange clay. That's 1, 2, 3, like this. So there we have Rocky's hair. We then want to come to the back of Rocky, and with our white stained clay, of course, we want to do our we want to take the bottom 2 corner blocks and we want to extend them backwards by 7 with the white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you can extend those inwards by 2 of the white stained clay, either side, and then do 2 orange in the center, like that. Come to the front of the head, and starting from the front of the face, moving backwards, on top of the second row, you want to do 2 white stained clay on either one of those rows, both of them. Then you can fill the rest of the head up with orange stained clay. You guys know what you have to do here. I don't know why I destroyed that orange. On the left, right, and back of the head, we want to do orange stained clay. You guys know what you have to do here. And of course, up top and down below, you then want to figure out what color you want to use. I really should take my own advice on some of these heads, and I should make them random colors at the top and the bottom. Like I could, like, on the top of this guy's head, maybe, like, I don't know, add purple or something. Orange and purple looks kind of freaky, doesn't it? I like that. It kind of reminds me of like a ghost type from Pokemon. I don't know why that just occurred to me, but it kind of does. That'd be nice. I bet that'd look cool. It'd look a little crazy, but it'd look cool. So on the top of the head, well, I'll start with the bottom of the head. The bottom of the head, I'm just going to do a layer of white stained clay like this. Maybe I will modify them at the end. I'm going to do a layer of white stained clay at the bottom, but it makes sense. And then I'll do a layer of orange stained clay going all the way around the top. And once I've completed these, this is going to be Mr. Rocky. Mr. Rocky? I think that's his name. I'm sorry if I get it wrong. I've never watched this guy's channel. I have no idea. But there is Mr. Rocky. Wonderful. Once you've got him taken care of, we will move on to our 5th and final, but last but not least, Mr. Crainer. So to make Mr. Crainer, I don't have the materials. We need some white stained clay, some magenta stained clay. We need some yellow wool, white wool, and a nice little bit of green. So for Mr. Crainer, we're going to start once again on the top front left-hand corner of, this time, Jack Frost's, Mr. Jack, his head. It's on top of this first gold coming in. Not this corner, this one, because that's his helmet, this is his head. So I'm going to go up on top of this block by 3 with the magenta stained clay. Then I'm going to place a white stained clay. Destroy the magenta, it was just a guiding block. We then want to go right of that white stained clay by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then for the next row, going from left to right, 1, 2, 3 white stained clay, 2 magenta, 3 white. For the next 2 rows, do 2 solid rows of white stained clay. So this will be 1 and this will be 2. For the next row, going from left to right, do 1 white stained clay, 1 white wool, 1 green. Do 2 white stained clay, 1 green, 1 white stained clay. For the next row, do 1 yellow, 6 white stained clay, 1 yellow. Then do 2 solid rows of yellow. That's 1, and this will be 2. Well, that was incredibly easy, and that actually doesn't get any simpler because that is Crainer's face. That's it. There's nothing more to add. He looks a little blank. He's got a bit of a plain expression, but you know what? I still love him anyway. Let's come around to the back of his head, and we'll take each one of these back 2 corner blocks here, and we'll extend them back each by 7 with the white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this opposite one, we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll connect those together, like that. Now, I'm going to add an additional layer of white stained clay on top of that. So, we'll now have 2 rows coming out of the bottom of the head. Then, starting from this back left-hand corner block, so we're on the left-hand side, we're on the corner block, and we want to, from this block, we want to, moving right, do 2 yellow wool. We then want to do a row of white stained clay, like this. Then, for the next row, starting from the left-hand side here, we want to have a row of 4 yellow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, then do a row of white stained clay. Then, for the next row, we want to do a row of 5 yellow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then do a row of white stained clay. And then for the 5th and final row, or however many rows this is, I honestly just made that up, we just want to do an entire row of yellow wool. So we'll have something which should look a little bit, oh my god, a little bit like this. So this is the sort of pattern that you want on the side of the head. Nice and easy. Once you've done it on that side, you want to do the same thing on this opposite side. Was that the 5th row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kinda. No. Not even close. Well, once you've done that pattern on that side, you want to do the same thing on this side. So what's easiest is just to simply colour it in from that side. So just apply that row onto this row or onto this side. And what you can also do once you've done that is you can just fill the rest of the head in with yellow wool. So fill the rest of the head in with yellow once you've got all of those sides taken care of. Nice and easy, nothing difficult about this one, guys. You guys will get this done no problem. I believe in you, I honestly do. So we just want to fill this in with yellow, and then we'll add the square of yellow, and then we'll add the square of white stained clay. So I'm going to add the white stained clay at the bottom, and once again, you know, I'd add blue down here if I wanted to. Like if I was adding a weird colour, I'd add blue. And at the top of the head, I'm going to add a layer of yellow. I don't think I'm going to alter them. I'm just saying it'd be kind of cool if they were to, because I kind of like Unspeakable Gaming. I like what I've got going on over there. I don't know, I might even change it. So that is Crainer's head. Wonderful. That is each one of our 5 YouTubers complete. We have Viktor Star, we have Bajan, we have Mr. Squid, we have Mr. Rocky, and Crainer. What do we do next? Well, we need to connect them together. Not only to each other, but to the previous level. To connect to the previous level, we'll need some block of quartz. We'll need some quartz stairs. We'll need some black stained glass pane. We'll also need some black stained glass. We'll also need some ladders. Let me show you how you do this. So, we have to connect Crainer to Jack, and we have to connect Viktor Star to ThxCya. The way that we'll do this, we'll take the back 2 corner blocks, or the back 2 middle blocks, the back 2 middle blocks of each one of the heads, and we'll connect those middle blocks from the top of Jack to the bottom of Crainer. You guys can see how that's done. We'll also create an entrance at the back of Crainer's head so we can actually get in there. It's in the same position as it is on all the other YouTubers. It's basically just like you skip a row from the quartz, knock out the next 2 rows above. We then want to break into the little chamber that we have down here that leads us into Jack, and we want to make a platform around where you would board into Jack's head. We then want to do a row of 3 quartz behind the ladders and connect it to the back of Jack's head. We want to run a row of ladders all the way from the top of that platform all the way up to the bottom of Crainer's head. We then want to fill in said chamber with glass. We want to kind of go all the way around what we have, and we just want to make a chamber of glass. If you fall from this height, it will kill you, depending on what you fall on. I'm assuming you're going to hit the ground. So we just want to make this black glass chamber going all the way around this. We'll also fill it in. What we'll also do is I'll show you how to dim it a little bit on the front. So this is the chamber. It's really simple stuff. And on the front you have some exposed quartz. If you cover it with glass, it makes it look less apparent. It makes it look less shiny. I like the effect, you might not. But that is Jack connected to Crainer. Like I said, once you've connected those 2 gentlemen together, we have to connect these 2 together, ThxCya and Viktor Star. So first of all, we'll do the block of quartz that connects each one of the 2 heads together. We want to be able to get inside of Viktor Star's head. something that his psychiatrist hasn't managed to do, but we have, because we literally tunneled in there. We want to break into the glass tunnel just below, and we want to create a quartz platform where you would board into ThxCya, you said. We want to do a row of 3 blocks of quartz that extends up and connects to the back of ThxCya, and we want to do a row of ladders that conjoin the two. We then want to do a layer of black glass that goes all the way around a little walkway here, a little climb way. It's not really a walkway, you're not walking up there unless you're Spider-Man. In that case, I guess you are walking, you can walk anywhere. You're a spider. Why are you walking places? You have that amazing bike. You guys aware of the jet bike? You guys seen that amazing Spider-Man, or is it Ultimate Spider-Man? I got confused with all of these adverbs. I've got no idea, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've seen the series. It's pretty amazing. You should check that out. It's on Netflix. So we've made the chamber that connects ThxCya to Viktor Star. We're now going to just dual the chamber a little bit on the left, right, and the very front of it. I'm not going to connect it at the corners because I don't want an unnecessary usage of blocks. But from the front, basically, it looks like this. You see, it just duals it a bit. You can compare it with the quartz that goes in between the heads, and you can compare the chamber that you have. I like it. That's what I like. Well, once you've got all of that taken care of, we now have to combine the heads together, like in a row, so we can walk between them. The way that we do this is we want to knock out the 4 center blocks kind of at the bottom of the head. Basically what you do is you count in from either the front or the back, and you find blocks number 4 and blocks number 5. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from either side. You knock out the 2 above blocks 4 and 5 and then the blocks above those. You do the same thing on every single one of these YouTubers. You don't have to do it for the 2 end heads. You only have to do it for the inside of the end heads, but I'm sure that you guys figured that out anyway. You don't want to leave holes in the end heads like on the very ends because you've got nowhere to go, if that makes sense, like this. So you don't have to knock out the side of Kramer's head for no reason. I said Kramer, I have no idea why, I'm thinking of Seinfeld. So we now want to connect these heads together. So I'm going to do a layer of black stained glass block that will create a walkway. Once we've made the glass walkway, which really always does remind me of Willy Wonka, that whole glass elevator. I need to watch that film again. I like the Jim Carrey version. It's not Jim Carrey. Oh my god, I'm insane. Oh my god, I got it wrong. I just had to Google that for my own sanity. Johnny Depp, Mr. Jack Sparrow himself. He played the new Willy. You guys don't care. So what I'm going to do is, on the either side of the glass here, I'm going to do upside down quartz stairs. And on top of the quartz stairs, eventually, once I've added all of the quartz stairs themselves, I'll actually do it on one side now. I'm going to add a layer of black stained glass pane. This might actually be a bit easier than like going back and forth with the stairs and then the glass. And this is just going to stop us falling off of these little walkways like this. And then I'm going to come to the back here, I'm going to do the quartz stairs, and then I'll add the glass. And like I said, this is basically just going to stop anybody falling off. It'd probably kill you unless you fell onto the previous level of the YouTuber apartment house, which is possible because there are a few. I'm sure that you could maneuver yourself and possibly survive, and maybe you're even in creative, so it doesn't apply to you, but still, safety first, always safety. So that is all of the glass and quartz and all of the walkways and ways to get up and down done. So we can get left and right and we can go up and down. What more could you need? Are there any more directions? I doubt it. So once we've got those done, the only thing that we have to do, other than potentially fill these heads in, which I'm not going to do, by the way. The reason being is, if I wanted to fill these heads in, I would only make them the same as the first original row of the YouTuber head house, which look like this. So this is what the bedroom typically looks like for a YouTuber head house. This is without any glass in it, so you can place whatever you want, wherever you want. It's a little bit different when you've got glass everywhere, but you guys get the idea. So it would only look like this, except up there, so I'm not going to include any sort of tutorial for how to do the inside of these things. I'm simply going to talk about how I'm going to fill the top and the bottom of these things in with the different kinds of glass and the thought process behind this, even though it doesn't matter because you can choose your own. So, going from left to right, we have Viktor Star. Viktor Star, I'm going to use, I want to use orange, but I'm going to use that later. So I'm going to use magenta for Viktor Star's head, because why not? bajancanadian, I'm going to use red. Mr. Squid, I'm going to use light blue glass, I think. For Rocky, just because he's ginger, I'm going to use orange. And Crainer, I'm tempted to use blue, but I already used the blue, so I'm going to use yellow. So all I'm going to do now, I'm going to fill the bottom of Viktor Star's head in with magenta, which I've sadly done down below, actually. Can you see down there? I've actually filled like the top of ThxCya's head in with magenta, so I guess I'm stealing the colour, which is a little bit upsetting. To be honest with you, I wish they were a bit different just for the sake of contrast, but, you know, such is life. What are you gonna do? What can you do? Nothing. So, I was originally going to cut out. I wasn't actually going to show the process of this, but we're almost halfway done, so I may as well just continue for the sake of like a minute and a half or however long this takes. May as well just hang in there. I really do think I should maybe mess about with the colours at the top of the head. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. It might look a bit silly. What I have going on now is at the very least realistic, despite the fact that all of these YouTubers have been beheaded and had their heads filled with like books and beds and glass and stuff. Despite that, it's quite realistic thus far. It wouldn't be so realistic if we were to start like messing about with the colour schemes and stuff, so I don't think I'll bother, but know that the option is very much open to you and it'd make it look a bit more colourful if you were to do that. So we've just about, there we go, so we have just about finished this, and we have. I don't know why I said just about, because we had at that point. This is the level 7 of the YouTuber apartment house. Wow. Look at this. I love seeing this. I honestly do. I love seeing it get bigger and bigger, but at a certain point, I think it just has to stop, doesn't it? At a certain point, before you're scraping the cheese off of the moon, I think that you've just got to stop with the YouTuber house. I don't know. You guys are really going to have to let me know down there in the comments. Despite how glorious this thing is, and I genuinely like this house, it's crazy. I just don't know whether it should continue, so let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, I'd really appreciate it. Comment down below whether this thing should continue. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. Check out the cards and the description below. All I'll be leaving in there is my awesome theme builds playlist and all of the other iterations of this house, every single one of the others. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.